Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, is that a relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said
Let me read it. Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I can no longer
That's
help you
confused.
guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
Really funny. Did he find that amusing?
He probably didn't. But, you know, like when I first heard it, it just was funny to me because, like, no matter what you do, you get these different status. Like, you'd be like writer, producer, a mogul.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get in trouble, they go rapper.
Ah.
You go right back to rapper.
Right back to rapper.
And then I saw that happen to him, and I was like laughing. I poked fun at it because, you know, it didn't seem like a real serious thing. Situation. And then
You won't believe who 50 Cent just exposed. The rap mogul is spilling all the tea on Diddy's secret Hollywood circle, and it's juicier than a peach in July. We're talking A-list celebs, industry power players, and some names that'll leave you gasping. 50 isn't holding back, and he's got the receipts to prove it. Ready for this tea party?
It's just what I've been thinking, what I've been saying. Because, like, when you think about all the Diddy parties, just award shows, interactions, all that, man. We're back on the Art of Dialogue channel, and it says Gene Deal backs 50 Cent claim that rappers are silent on Diddy due to fear of being recorded on tape. Meaning that either he has stuff on them already, whether it's them doing stuff with, you know, when you think about these rappers who be like claiming to be all tough and hard, even Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang said it. You walk in those doors and you see people, some of your favorite rappers in there, and doing stuff that you're like, whoa. Hey, we're going to check this out, though. I'll leave the link to the original in the description so you guys can check out more and even subscribe. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Wow. Yeah, I ain't know that, man. But how you feel about Miami Beach taking Diddy Day away?
Bruh,
Diddy Day?
just like New York, just like Mount Vernon, New York City, Mount Vernon, and Miami, all that is the same, bruh. Nobody wants to be near him. Nobody wants to touch what he touched, be where he at. You understand? It's crazy, bruh.
I seen a video. I don't know how old it is, but I think it was fairly new. Diddy was somewhere and he had people around him. So again, man, that money, you know, you think about people who might be on that payroll, they gonna stay close to him because they don't want to use that. They don't want to lose that lifestyle.
Girl, you know 50 Cent isn't one to hold back, but this time, he's taking things to a whole new level. The man has been watching Hollywood's top players and their little games for years, and now he's had enough. Bet your last dollar, he's about to shake things up like a snow globe in December. 50's got a list of names longer than your mama's grocery list on payday. We're talking A-listers, power players, and folks you'd never expect to be caught up in this mess. It's like he's got all of Tinseltown in his back pocket, and he's ready to flip it inside out. But here's the real tea. 50 isn't just talking. He's got proof, honey. Screenshots, videos, you name it. He's been collecting receipts like they're going out of style, watching and waiting like a cat ready to pounce. And now, he's about to let it all loose. You think these celebs are sleeping easy? Please. They're probably tossing and turning more than a salad at a vegan restaurant because 50's got the goods on everyone from Oscar winners to chart toppers, and even a few political big shots are sweating bullets. Word on the street is some of these folks have been preaching family values while getting down and dirty behind closed doors. You know how it goes, all glitz and glamour for the cameras, but when the lights go down, that's when the real show begins.
It's just like the devil just kicked him out of hell. Because he was never in nothing graceful and did anything graceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about, okay, he did the music, he had the bad boy legacy and everything like that, man. But, you know, a few albums, a few people, you know, made to be famous, but they not here to tell their story.
Oh,
Black Rob, Biggie, Craig Mack. They not here to tell their story, bro.
Tupac.
And now you got everybody telling his story.
That's fact.
Yeah, and I know 50, he did a recent interview with US Weekly saying that the reason why rappers are quiet about, you know, Diddy's situation is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what got caught on tape.
Bruh, those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders.
And you got to remember, man, you're going to these parties and you're just like wilding out, having fun. They say, again, we go back to that Denzel quote where he said, you got to leave the party before the devil shows up. You know, it's been plenty of parties, right? And some people can never know that this stuff existed because they left before things got wild. They said after a certain time, you don't want to be here. If you're not about that life, get up out of here. So when they talk about freak offs and stuff, I mean, just use your imagination, man. You know, celebrities with celebrities, you know, again, not knowing that you're being recorded and you're just, man, the evidence.
And 50? Oh, he's got it all. Dates, locations, even down to what they were wearing. It's like he's been keeping a diary of all their dirty little secrets. Some of these celebs are probably shaking in their designer shoes, wondering if their name's the next to drop. But here's the kicker. 50 isn't doing this for kicks. He's on a mission to burn it all down, to end the secrets and lies. He's ready to flip Hollywood on its head, and trust me, it's going to be messier than a toddler with finger paints. You might be thinking, why now? Well, sometimes you've got to let the pot simmer before you serve the tea. And 50? He's been letting this brew for years. Now it's hot, it's ready, and he's about to pour it all over Tinseltown. Hold on to your wigs, because this is just the beginning. And you won't believe who's first on his hit list. Someone who's kept a squeaky clean image for years. Someone we all thought was above this mess. But 50's about to show us that in Hollywood, nobody's hands are clean. So grab your popcorn and get comfortable, because 50 Cent's about to give us a show that'll make all those fancy award ceremonies look like kindergarten playtime. The tea is hot, the stakes are high, and Hollywood's about to learn that when 50 decides to spill, there's no umbrella big enough to keep you dry.
That house, that's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders in that house that they took, that the feds found. So now with them finding all that and you being at a Diddy party, you know you may have done something that was caught on one of those tapes. You just better pray to God that they don't recognize you.
Hey.
Those people who know that they did something, no, they're not going to speak out. They're not going to say nothing. What part of the game is that? They are not going to come forward and tell on themselves.
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. Ice Cube, he said it.
Hold up. You thought you knew who was in Diddy's crew? Think again. The streets are whispering about A-listers who've been playing saint in public, but sinner in private. And honey, when these names drop, you'll be clutching your pearls so hard they might just turn to dust. We all know Diddy's got connections, but these names? They'll make your jaw drop faster than the beat on a Timbaland track. 50's out here spilling tea on celebs we thought were squeaky clean. We're talking Oscar winners with shiny trophies and fake smiles, chart toppers who sing about love, but don't know the meaning of the word. And get this, even a few political big shots are mixed up in this mess. You know, the ones always preaching about family values? Turns out they've been getting down and dirty behind closed doors. It's like they've got two faces. One for the cameras and one for the dark. And 50? Oh, he's got all the receipts. Dates, locations, even down to what they were wearing. It's like he's been keeping a diary of all their dirty little secrets. Word on the street is some of these celebs are shaking in their designer boots right now. And can you blame them? Their whole image is built on lies, and 50 is about to knock it down like a house of cards. Some of them are probably on the phone with their publicists as we speak, scrambling to figure out how to spin this. But girl, there's no spin strong enough to clean up this mess.
Show, or basically, this thing tells them from now on, for the remaining time, there will be no kissing, no sex, no self-pleasure of any kind. And if you guys can do this at the end of the show, you can win one person will win $100,000. So all they have to do is not do nothing. And there's cameras everywhere. And of course, these people end up doing stuff and it's caught on camera. And then what they do is they get everybody together and they tell them like somebody broke the rules. I'm saying this because a lot of times, a lot of them won't come forward and say, I was the one who did this, even though it's caught on tape. But then it end up getting revealed. And then they'll say, what you did from this $100,000, you guys have lost $6,000 or something. So I'm just saying, like, there's cameras there on that show and people still act wild and do stuff, but they don't want to admit it because they thought that it wouldn't get revealed. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. If you know and you watch the show, you know what I mean.
Bro, he said that Diddy's been targeted because of what he said about those folks and those people. Now, the people who was on those tapes may feel like Diddy might be targeting them. Because if he's asked about who is this, who is that, and he's under oath with the federal government, he got to tell them. He's not going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know that got to be a terrible feeling, man. You know you did something wrong at Diddy party, and you hoping and praying that it's not caught on tape.
Just wait.
But they don't think they did nothing wrong. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle, bro. I ask guys all the time, if two men lay down, how many homos get up? What you mean? I mean what I mean. It's what it is.
And again, it's not even about like two men being with two men or two women being with two women. It's not about that. It's those people in the industry that act like they're all these tough people and they would never do this or never do that. And then it be caught on tape. Like I said, when Inspector Decknam said they was at that mansion party and they opened that door, they was like, don't be curious. They opened that door and they seen one of your favorite rappers. And then they come out of that room trying to like see how you are. Are you cool with it? Yeah. So it's interesting because if Diddy somehow, some way don't go to jail, you already know, I said before, he's probably going to throw this whole big old not guilty party. And all the people that he going to look and see how many people spoke out against him and they can't come to the party, you know, or they going to be blackballed, or, you know, he going to use whatever pull he has to make sure they don't probably make another dollar. So again, it's a lot of stuff to consider here. But I don't know how much longer it's going to take. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are on those tapes. The feds are probably watching them like, oh my goodness. They got what's the name?
Here's the real kicker. There's one name in particular that's going to shake you to your core. It's someone we all thought was above this mess. A role model, always talking about giving back to the community. Someone who's played it squeaky clean for years. But 50 is about to remind us that in Hollywood, nobody's hands are clean. And it's not just actors and singers in the spotlight this time. We're talking about producers who've been pulling the strings behind the scenes, directors who've turned casting into something far from professional, and even those high-powered executives sitting pretty in their big offices. They're not safe from 50's truth bombs either. Hold on to your wigs, because we're about to dive into the dirty details. 50 isn't just naming names. He's telling stories that'll make your toes curl. Think wild parties that make the Wolf of Wall Street look like a kindergarten picnic, secret hotel meetings where careers are made or broken over more than just business, and contracts signed in ways that have nothing to do with ink, if you catch my drift. This isn't just gossip. It's the kind of tea that could change everything. When 50's done, Hollywood's going to look real different. No more hiding, no more fronting. The masks are coming off, and we're about to see who these people really are. So get ready, because this tea party is just getting started, and it's about to be hotter than a summer in Atlanta.
He was the type of dude that kept like a little, he kept like a little pad with him. And he wrote everything down. You understand? Me and him caught the plane. We was going to Vegas. And I gave him my card. My business card was savoir faire, security management, and everywhere. You know what I mean? So 50 did a song about that. You know what I'm saying? And he put that in the song. And some years ago, about a year or so ago, not even a year or so ago, he said that when he dropped my name, he said, yo, I got the savoir faire. I got that from Big Gene. He been trying to tell y'all about this Puff shit years ago. But 50 was the type of dude that if you knew he was with you, he was with you. Even back then, he had your back whether you was security or whatever you did. If he was with you, he was with you. And that's what you gotta love about him. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta question his loyalty, you know what I'm saying, on some fight shit or if you in a situation. Cause he going out. Well, what happened is that I had got some information. 50 came to my house. I tried to fit him on a vest, but I'm like, at the time I was like a 3X. And 50 was like a large, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't really fit the vest, but I gave him a cover to try to tell him, because he had some pads, some vest pads. So I just told him what the situation was that I knew. And told him he had to watch himself because those cats was gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And he was supposed to be going to Cancun. And I told him, if you come to Cancun, I got you, because I used to be down there doing security at Daddy-O's. You understand? And I had people down there that I had knew that was from Puerto Rico, and they was working down there, so they should make sure when I hit the island, anything and everything I needed, I could get it right there on the island. You understand? They work directly with the syndicate. So 50 was supposed to come down there to do a show, and he didn't make it because they had shot him up. I don't know if he was coming in the first place, but he was supposed to, because he was paid half the money to come down there to perform How to Rob an Industry Cat.
And when was the next time you seen him after that?
The next time I seen 50 after that was at Jack the Rapper. He had blew up. He had blew up, man. He was like, he was this dude and everything like that. And I was sitting in we was in Puerto Rico, and I was sitting by myself, just chilling, and he had his whole entourage with him. He came directly over to me. He like, yo, Gene. I was like, yo, what up, Fit? I said, what up, 50? He said, what's up, man? He said, yo, put his hand out to me, and grabbed my hand. He said, yo, they can't stop what God got planned. Went on about his business. And then he blew up.
Y'all thought you knew what goes down at those bougie Hollywood shindigs, right? Champagne, caviar, tiny dogs and purses? Please. 50 is about to spill tea that'll have you looking at your fave celebs like they just crawled out of the gutter. What happens behind those velvet ropes is so wild it makes spring break in Miami look like a church picnic. Listen up, because 50 is pulling back the curtain on what really goes down when the cameras stop rolling. These are your grandma's dinner parties, honey. We're talking about wild, eyebrow-raising events that would make even the Kardashians blush, and you know that's saying something. You think these parties are just about networking and air kisses? Think again. It's about power, control, and some seriously messed up stuff. 50's got stories that'll make you look at your favorite stars in a whole new light. Like that one A-lister who's always talking about being vegan and saving the planet? Well, let's just say their after-party activities aren't exactly eco-friendly, if you catch my drift. And it's not just the stars getting their hands dirty. We're talking about producers, executives, and the bigwigs pulling the strings from behind the scenes, the ones who decide who's going to be the next big thing. Word on the street is, some of these power players are using these parties to make deals so shady they'd make the devil himself do a double take. This tea is about to be scalding hot.
50 going so hard at Diddy with the documentaries, and you know man, what did he do to 50 that made him hate him so much, man? That's crazy.
Well, I think it's just, you got to look at it like this. 50 was writing a lot of shit that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day, he didn't know what he know now, but Diddy was robbing him. You understand? Mm-hmm. Bringing those kids in and say, yo, here, write this verse for me, man, for this, stuff like that, and giving them $5,000, you understand? Or $10,000, and you making $100,000 or $200,000 or maybe $2 million off of it, or $1 million, whatever the case may be. See, people call that good business. That's not good business. That's taking a person's talent, using it for your own self-indulgence, and not giving him what it's worth. When you could have been teaching these kids, you could have been helping these kids, and maybe these kids would have been helping you at the point you are right now. So, if that's the case, he have every right. But 50 is doing this for the culture. You understand? If it's going to be told, he going to have it, and it's going to be told the right way.
Yeah, man. And 50, he go hard on Diddy, man. It's constant on his Instagram. It's kind of, it's pretty entertaining to see him be so passionate about his hate for Diddy.
Listen, how many of your enemies you love?
50's got the dirt on one party that's about to blow this whole thing wide open. We're talking A-listers doing things that would make a porn star blush, deals shady enough to put the mafia to shame, and enough drugs to make Pablo Escobar jealous. And here's the shocker. It all went down at the home of someone you'd never expect, someone always preaching family values and clean living. When this tea spills, it's going to flood all of Hollywood. Careers will be ending faster than you can say. Cancel culture. Some of these celebs are going to need more than a good publicist. They're going to need a miracle worker and maybe a time machine. But here's the real question. Why is 50 doing this now? Why air out all this dirty laundry? The streets are saying it's personal, that maybe 50's got a score to settle. Or maybe he's just fed up with the fake smiles and backstabbing handshakes, tired of the hypocrisy. Whatever the reason, one thing's certain, Hollywood's about to change. No more hiding behind designer shades and rehearsed smiles. 50 is shining a light into every dark corner, and what's crawling out ain't pretty. So grab your popcorn and settle in, because this show is about to get real. 50's not just spilling tea, he's dumping the whole kettle. And when the dust settles, Tinseltown is going to look very different. The masks are coming off, and we're about to see who these people really are. You ready for this?
Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that. And then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. It's people might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You got to know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bro. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bro. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that there's talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're going to go back and you're going to tell me what, we're going to talk about this. You said, I'm going to ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that.
And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bro. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't
Ready? Well, hope you're strapped in tight because this roller coaster is about to drop. The T50 spill has turned into a full-on tsunami, and some of your faves might just be drowning. Ever seen a celeb sweat through their Gucci? You're about to, girl. Hollywood's shaking like it's built on Jell-O right now. These celebs thought they were untouchable, living it up in their mansions and private jets. But 50 just flipped the script, and now they're running scared like rats on a sinking ship. You know those big names we mentioned? Well, some of them are already feeling the heat. Careers are hanging by a thread thinner than a model's waistline. Word is, some of these A-listers can't even leave their houses without getting swarmed by paparazzi, who are hungry for every scandalous detail. It's like feeding time at the zoo, and the celebs are the main course. Let me tell you, it's panic mode in Tinseltown. Publicists are working overtime trying to spin this mess like a DJ at Coachella, and lawyers are on speed dial, probably charging more per minute than most of us make in a week. Some celebs are scrambling to get ahead of the story, rushing out statements and apologies faster than you can say damage control. But it might be too little too late. The tea's already out there, and you can't put that genie back in the bottle.
I'm tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that because back then, he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police could be raiding him for sex trafficking. Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was Brother Love and Love.
And girl, now some of these folks are in full denial mode. They're out here acting like they don't know what 50's talking about, like they've never even heard of Diddy. But 50's not letting them off the hook that easy. He's got receipts, remember? And he's not afraid to use them. Every time one of these celebs tries to deny it, 50's right there with another screenshot or video. It's like watching a game of whack-a-mole, but with reputations. The streets are buzzing that some folks are ready to talk, desperate to save their own skin. You know how it goes. When the ship starts sinking, everybody's looking for a lifeboat. We're hearing whispers of tell-all interviews and exclusive confessions. Everyone wants to be the first to come clean, thinking it'll save their career. But once trust is broken, it's like trying to put a shattered mirror back together. Sure, you might get all the pieces, but it'll never look the same. This whole mess could change the game in Hollywood. No more secrets, no more lies. It's like 50 just turned on all the lights at a vampire party. Everybody's exposed, and there's nowhere to hide. The days of celebs getting away with whatever they want might be over. From now on, they're going to have to watch their step, because they never know who's watching. But here's the real question on everyone's mind. What's going to happen to Diddy? He's been at the center of this storm from the start, and now the winds are really picking up. Is he going to weather this storm, or is his empire about to come crashing down? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, after this, Hollywood will never be the same.
Either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficking. You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it because he gave up the company, he did what he was supposed to do, and he became Ghost. But now you see they trying to do the same thing to Puffy. They trying to make him or hip hop the face of sex trafficking like they was going to do the WWF at one time. Because that was a big story. So a lot of his people that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous shit that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feeling a certain way. So they're not going to speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You got to realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're going to send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? You know, did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're going to want to know. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to send investigators out. They're going to send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't going to say nothing. You know, you got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that. But ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs and little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're going to let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man. I know they got to be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there.
Hollywood upside down, and nothing's ever going to be the same. This ain't your regular gossip. It's a whole new game for these celebs. No more hiding behind fancy PR teams or flashing those fake smile. The streets are saying everyone's on edge, wondering who's next on 50 East hit list. You think this tea part is over? Please, it's just getting started. 50. He's probably got a whole file cabinet of dirt on these aces. Who knows who he's coming for? Next could be that squeaky clean pop star, or that politician always preaching about family values. One thing for sure, everybody in Tinseltown sleeping with one eye open, so keep your eyes peeled and your ears to the ground. This drama is far from over, and you number 50 ain't done spilling tea. Hollywood's never going to be the same, and honestly, maybe that's a good thing. Time for these celebs to face the music and show us who they really are.